Hi everyone, my name is Greg Ellis, and welcome to Redskin Review. This is our 9th show for the 2010 football season, and in this show we will take a look at the Redskins' win 24-7 over Glen Este in Week 8, and we'll look ahead at the monumental game this week in Week 9, actually tomorrow night at Winton Woods. With me as always, Dan Albers, Coach Giesting.
Hi.
Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Coach, you went up against a very tough Glen Este team, as they all are.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe the key to this game was how well the defense played. After the touchdown that Glen Este scored in the second quarter, I thought the defense really did a good job of shutting down their ground game.
We did a pretty good job. For them being as good a running team as they are, I think we held them to 3.1 yards per rush.
3.5. I got it on my notes here.
3.5, which was good. And that was a huge key to the game. We were able to get them off the field, and so we could get our offense on the field, and they weren't able to control the clock. And we actually won the time of possession by about a minute or so, which we usually never do when we play them. So, yeah, I thought defensively we played hard and you know, for the most part, did a pretty good job. We gave them the one score after we dropped the punt, and they had a short field, and it'd been nice to hold them to a field goal there. But, you know, if you can hold them to 7 points, you're going to have a great chance to win the ball game, and that's what we were able to do.
You guys came out in this game, and I think in the first quarter, I think we had you threw the ball like 14 times in that first quarter, somewhere around in there. Was that part of the game plan, throwing early because they had so many people up in the box?
Yeah,
or?
Yeah, we were going to throw, and we felt like we could get some things on them, and so we threw the ball a fair amount in the first quarter. And, you know, I don't know that you know, we really got a lot of points out of it or anything, but maybe it loosened them up a little bit and opened up some things for the running game, and you know, it breaks tendencies and things like that as well.
And you had Jordan Shelton again, just had another phenomenal game. He really is just a big time difference maker, and he always seems to make a big play when you need it.
He does. He's a great receiver for us. He's just having a tremendous senior year, and hopefully that continues here in the next few weeks.
And then another senior game. I know we always talk about these two guys, but Jake Nelson again, it was a lot of hard yards he was getting, but then he ended up getting 34, I believe, on that last run in the fourth quarter. That was huge and really put the game out of hand.
He had over 100 yards again, like he always does, and it doesn't seem like it. And you look at the stats at the end of the game, and there's Jake with over 100 yards again. And he always has one really nice run, seems like, in there, like you said, a 34-yarder. And you know, he's just really dependable, and you know, he's you know, if you compared him to the great backs at Anderson of all time, from speed-wise and things like that, he doesn't compare. But for productivity, he's right up there. So he's just having a great year.
And again, we talk your offensive line. I think I've just noticed each week they've getting better and better, and they really have done a nice job and really improved since week 1.
They have, and they work at it. And Coach Daniel works them quite hard, and you know, Glen Este's a hard team to play. There are a lot of stunts and twists and different things they do, and Pittman's a great linebacker, and you know, so for them to control their defensive line and for us to be able to run the ball effectively, you know, to put the game away in the second half was really big.
You talked about the defense against the run, and Glen Este had some success early, especially I can remember one time Duncanson really broke through on a nice run. Mm-hmm. But after that, like you said, that you held them to 3.5 yards a carry. You had to be happy with that after the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks.
Right, they were playing well. They were running the ball on everybody, and you know, I think they really felt like they had a decent chance to win the ball game if they could run the ball effectively. And we were, you know, we didn't totally stop them, but we did a nice job of containing their ground game and getting enough, like I said, getting them off the field without them marching down on 8-minute drives and eating the clock up and things like that. You know, when you play them in the wing tee, if you're out of position by just a few feet, that's a little alley. That's all they need to go get another yard or two. And you really have to be tight on your scrapes and things like that. And you know, we work on that stuff, but again, our scout team can't simulate the way it is, similar to what the problem that we'll have facing Winton Woods tomorrow night. We'll be simulating, you know, their offense with our scout team.
The secondary played well too. After you got the lead, Glen Este tried to throw the ball a little bit.
Right.
I think they only completed 5 passes the whole game, and Chris Shingleton got his 5th interception of the year. He's playing a great year.
He is. He's, you know, he does a nice job of anticipating and reading routes, and you know, five picks in 1 year is really good. We've still got 2 games to go. You know, Glen Este helped us. They had a couple guys wide open. They dropped 2 of them. And which may have changed the ball game a little bit and how it was playing out. But yeah, I mean, our pass defense all year has been really solid back there. Those guys move well and they anticipate and they read routes and they all catch the ball. We don't have a lot of dropped interceptions. Sometimes you get teams that they get to the ball, but then they drop it, and our guys catch it. Tommy and Chris and Kyle Payne, those guys hold on to it.
Again, the defensive line I thought played pretty well, and Matt White continues to shine every week.
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt's very strong. He's one of our fastest kids, and when he plays really hard, he's a force. And when he moves, when we move him, and we have to move our line a fair amount because we're undersized, he's tough to block because he is so quick, and his hands are strong, and he gets his hands on you, and he's not going to let go.
Tommy Chapman came back after missing a couple of games, and I thought he kicked the ball as well, if not better than he had all year. He had the 38-yard field goal looked really good,
yeah,
and his kickoffs were strong too.
Yeah, Tommy's legs, I think he's back to 100%. And unfortunately, soccer team got beat the other night for them. Fortunately for us, because he would have had to miss the game tomorrow night because they would have been playing the second round. But yeah, he's such a weapon for us. He's got range from 40 to 45 yards, and he can execute a variety of different kickoffs, which is really helpful to us. And so we're glad to have him back.
Okay, we're going to try to go some of the highlights here, and Denise White again does just a great job for us, helping us out. And we'll see what we got here. The first one's a 4th down conversion that we picked up here. I don't know if this is early or late in the.
Yeah, it was a big play for us, and ran a good route. Nick threw a really good ball there. Tommy's field goal.
He's got that pole again in a way.
Yeah, but we've got his timing back now. He's starting his approach as soon as the ball snapped, and so some of the slower kicks earlier in the year are a thing of the past.
And then we got a 4th down stop here by us on Glen Este here.
Right. That was big. We had a nice rush, and
was that Matt White?
I think it was Matt White.
It was Matt. Yeah.
Reed Kaiser with a big catch. He's played well for you. He's a junior. He's playing well.
Yeah, he gets more and more confidence every week, and he's going to get bigger and stronger next year and be even more of a weapon for us. But that was a good 30-yard reception for us.
It was a big play, too.
It was.
Time. And you got Shelton with one of his
This
first
is
of his
just a great
touchdowns.
catch in the end zone.
Yeah, goes up. And they were bumping him quite a bit, and we weren't getting a lot of calls early and things like that, and he just stayed with it.
Here's a big return by Kyle Payne.
Yeah, Kyle returned that kick against Loveland, and he anticipates well and when to really burst through the hole, and you get a 33-yard return. That gives you great field position around the 40.
This is a ball that he almost dropped.
Yeah, well, Nick was a little low, and probably could have been a little bit more to the outside. But
close to being deflected.
Yeah, it was. They came back and recovered pretty well. So, but we'll take it.
Oh, this is another great hook and ladder. I think this is on a 3rd and long play.
Yeah, we got it again.
It's like 3rd and 16 or something. Or?
Yeah, we run a good route. Tanner does a nice job going down the sidelines and getting another 15, 20 yards.
Certainly some of the other teams to think about when they scout you.
Yeah, they got to prepare for it.
Here's Jake with his big run here in the 4th.
This really put the game out of reach right here.
Yeah, he did. Once he burst through the line of scrimmage, and he was gone. Let's kick off it. Oh, when we after the penalty.
Oh yeah,
we had moved
and
up.
He made a field goal.
He made it through the uprights.
So he made it through the uprights on the kickoff.
So that's pretty good. And there's you see the final 24-7. So another good game by the Redskins, and we did see a couple new things, a couple new wrinkles on the offensive side. I believe we saw Chris Shingleton, and did we see Kyle Payne as well running the ball?
Kyle Payne ran the ball once, and Chris ran some tailback. And Chris has been in the mix to try to run some tailback the last few weeks, but he's been hurt with his ribs and things. He's finally healthy, and we're trying to incorporate Kyle a little bit more each week with some different things. He's been in there as a receiver catching it, and now we've got him running the ball a little bit.
Is that something kind of like you did the last couple of years when you moved Truesdale, you moved a couple guys around? Is that kind of something like that maybe?
You gotta look at your talent, and you gotta see how it can help your team, and look at guys that that are playmakers, and Kyle's proven that he can do that, and Chris has a little bit of burst that if he can get through the line, maybe he can get us a big run. And he's not real big or anything, but he's got pretty good instincts, and he's got a nice body lean when he runs. So both of those guys, fortunately play defensively where they're playing is in a super physical position, and they're able to get some reps in practice and get ready for the game.
Well, obviously, a lot of people are out there listening to the broadcast, and I obviously was not too happy with the officials. And there was one in particular that I couldn't understand. It was the penalty that we kicked on a punt, and it gave Glen Este the ball back. I still can't figure that one out.
Yeah, well, they called us for defensive holding. He said that we basically grabbed their guy and threw him on the ground before the ball was kicked.
Wow.
So I didn't really see much of it.
We didn't see it that way.
Yeah,
I didn't see
the
it.
officials too much.
I know that, but it just blew me away. I obviously was not a happy camper
You can
about
always
it.
go get your officiating license.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And,
But there was a
how
lot of
easy it
penalties
is.
in this game. I mean, we were flagged about several times.
Yeah. Yeah. But, at least they got the ball spotted. We were able to get moving. We were concerned they'd be slow and slow us down and help Glen Este eat the clock up. And they got the ball spotted, and we were able to run some plays. Some of it, we do still have some offensive penalties we're trying to clean up, but we were able to overcome them.
You got you see a lot of teams that you've played against this year that have a lot of players that are going both ways, offensively and defensively. Is that an advantage or disadvantage to some teams that might have more guys playing both ways where they get worn down? I mean, do you think that's much of a factor with the kids being as young?
We feel it's an advantage when you don't have guys going both ways. We felt like that's been a big reason for our success. The last few years we've been able to two-platoon, and this year our squad's so small in the low 70s, and we're right on the line of that, having guys, and we're one injury away or two injuries away from having to make some wholesale changes and guys having to play both ways. But we made that commitment to it, and we've made it through the year pretty much. And here we are 2 games to go, and hopefully the playoffs. And when you can just practice one side of the ball, you get better and better at it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys here are 7-1. Got a huge game here with Whitten Woods, and I don't think anybody really expected realistically with as young of a team as you were going to have to be in a position where you're playing Whitten Woods for pretty much everything. I mean, what has really surprised you about this young team that you guys have done so well?
Well, I think they expect to win, and when they're out there, they're competing and trying to get better and working as a team, and I think I think offensively being able to throw the ball to balance our running game, because we're about a 50-50 mix for the most part, has really helped. It's much harder to defend a team when they're balanced like that. And I think defensively our speed is really good, one of the faster defenses we've had in a few years. We're not overly big, but our special teams I think have been outstanding all year. Taylor's punted very well, and we had different guys kicking off until Tommy got back, and even the Glenville game where we got beat, our guys, they thought they were going to win, and they were playing till the end, and that's what you want as a coach, and a bunch of guys that are going to compete and play and always believe they're going to win.
You think that's the success that you've had in the past?
Sure.
That it's rubbed off on these guys and they see how hard those other guys have worked?
Yeah, they do. Our guys always think no matter what happens early in the game, if we're there at the end, we're going to pull it out and we're going to win. And we know not every game is going to be a blowout game or an easy win. I mean, we know tomorrow's going to be a very difficult battle with Whitten Woods. They're a tremendous team, and they could easily win the Division II state championship. Not easily win it, but they could be definitely one of the favorites to win the Division II state championship again. So, we're going to have to play well and, be around and just do what we do well.
For this Glen Este game, the 24-7 win over Glen Este, who were the offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the week?
Nick Mason was the offensive player. He hadn't gotten it all year. He's done a nice job throwing the ball. Defense was Thomas Krupka. He had a lot of tackles. I think he had like 18 tackles.
Wow.
Supporting the run.
Yeah, he definitely can fill from the safety position. And special teams was Tony Martini, who's on several of our teams and just makes tackles and is a good leader for us.
Great.